Greetings, it is I, Andrew Sova, here to log my first real, non-introduction based video. And I'm gonna jump right into it. Basically, what I'm here to do today is document and protect the first short story I ever published. The end of number 6. Now, this being my first presentation of actually anything substantial, I'd like to make a disclaimer before I go on. When I first wrote The End of Number 6, I was in 8th grade, and I was 13. Now, back then, my writing skills were, and still are, developing. So, if you read it, do so with a grain of salt. I was much younger. And let me note that if I ever publish a story again, I will edit it to make it better than what it currently is, since it's kinda bad. But this video isn't intended to be a showcase of my best work. Well, okay, it kinda is. But its main purpose is to be copyright. And it's going to be the best copyright protection I have until I can monetize this channel and get more money. But when I do monetize this channel, when I do, no one can stop me! Excuse me. Anyway, as I was saying, some background. I did not write this story intending for it to be published online. I actually wrote it for a science fiction writing contest called NIU STEMfest. That's actually an acronym, meaning the Northern Illinois University Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Festival. That is a long acronym. This festival, besides being a massive room filled to the brim with all things science-y, is also host to various author speakings and competitions. In fact, the year this story won, Kat Falls, the author of Dark Life, was actually speaking at it. It really is a great event. Let me tell you, if you're a teen or younger who's interested in what is it again? STEM? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. There we go. If you're interested in one or more of those concepts, and you live near the NIU campus, I really think you should check it out. It's worth your time. I mean, I loved it, but that, could kind of be because I won first place in the contest. But hey, looking back, even if I hadn't won, it would still be pretty cool. Actually, about that, STEM holds a few different competitions every year for their STEM Fest. Among other things, their two biggest competitions are the Explain It Science Video Contest and their Science Fiction Writing Contest. The writing contest actually used to be a STEM essay writing contest, but I guess they figured that wasn't very exciting. I think the first year they put it together, or maybe the last year, the winning essay was one on the history of reading. It was actually pretty interesting, very well put together, but suppose that essay writing doesn't attract the same kind of crowd that science fiction writing does. But that's actually why I entered it, because I love science, and I love writing, and I love science writing. But I could go on to this whole long story about why, and how, and where, and when, and all those sorts of kind of things as to why I entered it, but I'm not gonna. So, on to the real point of this video. When I prepared my story and entered it into the contest, I was one of the youngest contestants. The age bracket was, at that point, I believe 8th grade to 12th grade. They lowered it now, I think, but back then I was pretty impressed with myself that I had won. At first, I was so startled that I didn't really even believe it. Really, I didn't think it was that good of a story. Sometimes now I still don't. I don't know how many people entered the contest, but I think it'd still be pretty good. I mean, I got first, so that's something, right? But I'm going off on a tangent again. Long story short, there's a STEM Fest, it's pretty awesome, there's a writing contest, the lady in charge is great, and I won. So, there you go. And now you're gonna find out why I won. Actually, I have no idea. I think they just liked my story. I don't know. So, here it goes. The premise of The End of Number 6, that's literally what it's called, The End of Number 6. But the premise is that a research and exploration trip called the Pillar of Spring goes and... Wait, what? Did I... Oh my goodness. I totally forgot that I included that. I don't even remember the ship's name. Wow, I cannot believe no one picked up on that earlier. I guess there's no one at NIU who likes Halo. So, anyway, moving on. The Pillar of Spring was gone for 100 years, and they come back, and everything's destroyed. The Earth is a wasteland. Everybody's dead! Oh God, why? No, what happened? Why? Actually, that's the main premise of the story. Everyone's gone, and they don't know why. Come to think of it, The story is actually more of a focus on human drama and human dynamics, set in the science fiction landscape. But I think that's the important part. Or that's what I was thinking about subconsciously when I wrote it. It's not about science, it's about humanity. So, everybody watching this, you must be wondering, how did they die? Where did they come from? Where did they go? Why is the Earth a wasteland? Why is it called the end of number 6? The dumbest name I could possibly have come up with. And who is the stud of a captain that the story revolves around? Hint, it's not me. Well, if you want to know the answer to any of those questions, you'll just have to read it. The perfect torture. If you want your questions answered, you have to suffer through my half-baked younger writing. The perfect torture! If you're interested enough to continue, take a look at it by following the link in the description below. And now, let me leave you with an excerpt from the story. We're going to start at the beginning. The End of Number 6 by Andrew Sova. Who am I kidding? Anyone who's here is going to figure out my name soon enough anyway. But I'll get to that later. Continuing on. The spaceship had been gone for 100 years, following its launch in the spring of 2055. Although the scientific community had accepted the methods of travel used by the ship, the effects of the travel had not been accepted. No one realized that space-time did not like to be fooled around with, no matter how much it lacked a sentient mind. Even though traveling through a warp drive was physically possible and completely reasonable, time itself was not so reasonable. It did not want to cooperate, and apparently wreaked its revenge upon the crew of the Pillar of Spring. Time is a touchy thing, Captain Starr explained to his crew members. Apparently, even though we didn't break any laws of physics, something unforeseen came our way. Although we may have only been gone from Earth for what seems like a year to us, it has been much longer for everyone else. Time is, as Einstein said long ago, relative. Wherever we ended up, however we got there, something changed. So prepare yourselves. We're returning to Earth in the year 2155. And so the tale of loss and demise begins. Hey, 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 shameless self-promotion. Yeah!